This is your weekly Moses and the Exodus challenge. I'm going to begin by talking about the challenge for adults, and then we can talk about how we change it to suit children. Last week, I talked about holy ground and the idea that we need to create a place in our lives that is our holy ground. So to clean off an area and set up an altar, a table that just to you is something beautiful, things that can bring you into the presence of God. And if you missed last week, encourage you to go back and look at that one first. But part of what I said is that, often our devotion stations look more like something like this, with this pile of books and things that we want to do. And I said I would talk about this next week, and so we will. Our inspiration here is going to be coming a little bit later in our Exodus story, in the 40th chapter, beginning at verse 16. Moses has received the law from God, and the people have created a ark of a covenant to put everything in. Hear these words. Moses did everything just as the Lord had commanded him. In the first month of the second year, on the first day of the month, the tabernacle was set up. Moses set up the tabernacle. He laid its bases and set up its frame and put its poles and raised its pillars. And he spread the tent over the tabernacle and put the covering of the tent over it, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He took the covenant and put it in the ark and put the poles on the ark and set the mercy seat above the ark. And he brought the ark into the tabernacle and set up the curtain for screening and screened the ark of the covenant, as the Lord commanded Moses. So a lot of detail about what the tabernacle looks like and the ark looks like, more detail than we probably need to go into. But basically, the idea of the story is that they took the sacred writings and they put them in a special place, the ark, which they could then carry with them wherever they went. And so what I am going to encourage you to do is to create an ark of the covenant for this mess. Your devotional books, the things that are important for you for your devotions. So let's do that today. So the first thing to do is to get a little bit realistic. You are not going to do all of these devotions in all of these books today or tomorrow. Narrow it down. Think about what 1, 2, maybe at the most 3 things are important to you to have in your devotional space. I know I want my Bible. That's a given. I've been enjoying this prayer book lately. It's by Mark Nepo, and he actually comes from a different faith tradition, but it's all talks about being present in your life, and I find that really helpful right now. So I'm going to keep that one in my stack. I've got a mindfulness coloring book. I have an art journal. And of course, for both of those, I need something to draw with. Now, I have a whole lot of other books here, and now it becomes a thing of how many of these am I really going to read? I'm going to pick just this one, Howard Thurman, Jesus and the Disinherited. A friend of mine asked me if I'd read that recently, so I'm going to add that. And that's it. Now I'm going to find my ark to put these things in. Just a nice wicker basket. And in this, I will place all my items. So that's my ark. And now, if I decide that I am going to do my devotions on my sofa instead of in my bedroom, or in my bedroom instead of in my sofa, I can easily take this from one room to another. And all those other books, they're wonderful, and I'll get to them eventually. But I need to focus on a few things right now, or I'll never do any of it because I end up too distracted. So I've got my holy place that helps me breathe and come into the presence of God. And I've got my Ark of the Covenant, my sacred stuff that helps me feel closer to God, that I can move around and take with me. Now, adjusting this for children, certainly for children, you could help them create their box and maybe something that they could decorate and do something crafty with, and that would be great. But for right now, I'd also like to encourage you to make a bigger box, a bigger Ark of the Covenant with them. Something that is big enough for them to sit inside comfortably. So it could be a laundry basket that you let them put some ribbons through. It could be an old box. We're getting everything shipped these days that's big enough for them to sit in. Not going to be carried in it, just going to sit in. And then on Saturday, the 26th of September, we're going to have a movie night here outside and in the parking lot. And we will socially distance all the kids in their boxes. They'll have their own box that they sit in for watching the movie. So I'm hoping that a lot of them will come and join us. If you don't get around to decorating a box, don't worry about it. You can just bring a plain old ordinary box or laundry basket to get in the spirit of things, or even we'll have hula hoops set out and they can sit within the hula hoop round. But it's a fun way for us to celebrate this Moses story and remember a little bit more of how the people of Israel lived. If you do this and you create your special box with your devotional materials in it, please take a picture, send it to me, lmartin@stjohnucc.org, and we'll incorporate it into one of our 10:30 worship videos. God bless everyone. Have a blessed week.